Hey Barney, Tim Handren, your mayor here. Today is Tuesday, July 21st. Just wanted to bring you an update since haven't talked to you in about a week and talk a little bit about COVID-19 and the numbers where we are as of today. A couple questions that have been asked of me online and via email. I want to answer those. And then I also have with me Dr. Tommy Price from Boerne ISD, and we're going to talk a little bit about the school today. So let's jump straight into the numbers. As of last night, we have in Kendall County, we have 77 active cases of COVID-19. What does that mean? That's just a number, 77, but we had 32 that were added to that list yesterday, and that's coincidental with this being exactly 2 weeks after July 4th. And I think that what we're seeing right now is folks weren't maybe being as careful on July 4th, getting a little close with friends and loved ones, and not abiding by the guidelines that we keep talking about. Wearing your mask or your face covering when you're not able to maintain social distance. Keep washing your hands, and again, the social distancing thing is the best choice that we have. Out of the 77 that are active right now, we have 32 of those are under investigation. Remember what that means. That's where DSHS is continuing to follow up with the individuals, and they're trying to reach them at their house, verify a few things, and so while they're under investigation, they're assumed active. 77, that's the biggest number that we've had so far. Our total to date is 152 total cases of COVID-19 in Kendall County. Again, those numbers are small. Why does it matter? Why do we look at these numbers? It's about the hospital system. And if you're not paying attention to what's going on in San Antonio, again, they had gotten up to 12% capacity in the hospitals, and that dropped very quickly back down to 10% in just one weekend. And that's our hospital system as well. And so we have to continually look at ourselves as part of that San Antonio regional hospital system as we look at these COVID-19 numbers. I've been asked a few other questions over the last week about hospitalization and why do we continue to say that we have 0 hospitalizations on our numbers. And the fact of the matter is this, we don't have a county health department. We rely 100% on DSHS, Department of State Health Services. They're providing us our numbers, and if they are not recording it as a Kendall County hospitalization, then we are not reporting it. We have to go with one source of truth. I've said that a number of times, and we're going to continue going with that. If you live in Kendall County and you would like to be on record, not by name, but by fact that you are hospitalized or were hospitalized, reach out to me or Jeff Fink from the county. He's our EOC director, and we'll aggregate those numbers. But right now we're going with just what DSHS reports, and that's what we have to do to be consistent. Let's see, I'm going to throw one other thing at you. Tomorrow, July 22nd, is the big county mask giveaway to local businesses. From 9 to 11 in Comfort and from 2 to 4 at Boerne High School. I know that as of this morning, we heard about 125 businesses had signed up to get free masks. If you need to do that, go to the Kendall County website and take advantage of that offering. Again, that's going to be completely funded by the federal government and reimbursed to the county. So if you need to get some support for personal protective equipment, take advantage of that. Okay, that's kind of a couple of key things I wanted to talk about related to COVID-19. I know, Tommy, we've had in our regular calls in the mornings throughout the week where we have the county, the city of Fair Oaks, the city of Boerne, Comfort ISD, and Boerne ISD. We talk about everything related to COVID-19. We have been since March. You've been, your school opening has been kind of a big point of discussion over the last couple of weeks for us as well, and I know it is in the community. Maybe it would be productive for you to just tell our audience out there, what is it that's driving your decision process primarily for how you're reopening the schools?
It's been quite of an adventurous 6 months trying to figure out where we want to go. And us working together has made this so much easier instead of working against each other as some other places have done. For us, we had set a calendar last year for August the 12th being our opening. And we have been monitoring the Texas Education Agency because they're really who controls schools in Texas. And about a month ago, the commissioner of Texas Education Agency came out with a plan. And his plan was that we would be allowed to open on time, and that's across the state of Texas. The planned time, but we had 2 different ways we could do it. We could do it in person, and we could do it distance learning. And we think that's great because really people have choices and parents have choices. No one's saying everyone has to go back, and no one is saying everyone has to do it online because we've always believed here in Boerne about choices. We've allowed people to choose different schools that they go to, and this fits kind of pretty well with what we've done all along. So to me, it's the state had set this in motion. They allowed us to do it, and we have asked our parents to start choosing between distance and in person. And right now, we have 81% of our parents choosing in person.
Wow.
So I think that's a good indication that choice is important.
Now, as I think about your customers, if you will, you have a broad range of customers. You've got everything from everyday students, you've got a broad range of age, you've got special needs students, you've got athletes, you've got musicians, you've got all kinds of things to worry about. What are some of the things that you're having to consider related to all of those groups, and how, I know we talked earlier about UIL is making changes. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
I think that goes back to the choice, because the hardest part about distance learning, virtual learning, we found that out last spring, where we had to throw it together very quickly. We had to try to do what's best for all of our students. But what we found is some of our students learned better distance learning. Some people struggled with it. And what we also, and this is statistics will show you, the most fragile of our students, our special ed students, our English language learner students, even our average students, struggled online. And so we know that there is a COVID slide from March to now, and usually you have that summer slide, so it's even twice as long. Part of us opening is trying to make sure we provide the best education possible for each individual student. And again, it goes back to that parent knowing what's best for their student and making that choice. Going back to the different groups we have, we believe very much in the whole child. We just don't we'd love all our kids to make A's in algebra. And that's great, but we also want to give them the emotional support. We want to give them the socialization that comes with school, and you see that in band, and you see that in choir, and you see that in football, and I think we're excellent in offering all of that for our students. So the sooner we can get back to face-to-face, a little bit of normalcy, it will help everybody. But again, we don't want to force anyone into a pegged hole and allow them to make those choices. And if they feel like they can't come to school, I think the virtual education is going to be great. We have wonderful teachers, and we'll be there for them. It will mirror what's going on in the classroom. It won't be like it was last spring, where you could finish your work in 45 minutes for the week. It's going to be new learning. You will learn how to do calculus, and we have good teachers there to support. And on the teacher end, one of the things that we're really working on is if a teacher has some fragile issues with health, we're trying to do our best to accommodate our teachers and put them in place where they can do some of the distance learning. So we want everyone to be safe. We work really hard with you, with the county, with state, CDC, to get our plan approved, and I think we have a really good plan that puts safety first.
I would agree with that. When the school district shared their opening plan with all of us, both at the county from an emergency operations center standpoint, with the city of Boerne, since so many of the schools are in the city limits, we've corroborated together very well over the last many months, and I'm appreciative of that kind of relationship that we all have, and I think it's a solid plan. All of our EOC folks have looked at it and feel like that you've done all the right things, you're following all the right guidelines, and in this time that none of us have lived through before, there's a lot of scary things that people are reading online. There's scary stories they're seeing in the news. I don't know how you feel about it. Well, I think I do, but I feel like this community and all of the folks that are working on all of the services that we provide as government entities, whether that's school, county, city, I think we're all trying to do the absolute best thing that we can for all of our citizens and our customers.
Yes.
I'm sure that you feel that way too.
Yeah, we want to please everyone. As an educator, as a teacher, I think that's one of our things. We want to make everyone happy. And we're living in a time when we can't. I think choice gives some happiness to people, but part of what we're seeing is people, if I want to stay home, I want everybody to stay home. If I go to school, I want everybody to go to school. That's not what we're doing. We're allowing that flexibility, and with safety coming first. And what I want to encourage people is social media is wonderful, but sometimes it's not the most accurate information. Call us, email us. We will answer the best we know. Now, everything's changing, like you mentioned. UIL just made some big changes today. Everything changes almost every single day. Yeah. So it's not anybody trying to be non-transparent. We answer the best we can. And our principals were back for the first time yesterday. So our principals are there, they're willing to answer questions, walk people through as best we know. And that's the thing, it's the best thing we know at this time, and it could change tomorrow.
You have your, normally you have an annual convocation where you bring the entire faculty and staff together, and you do it in a kind of almost a pep rally style. You talked about the school year's coming. How is that going to be different this year?
It's going to be social distancing. It'll be the masks. It'll be separate. In fact, one of the things we're talking about is doing it in multiple locations and allowing, kind of like when you watch the Super Bowl and they go back to here's the fans in Cleveland, yay! We're going to do multiple locations, use technology, stress social distancing as best we possibly can. But you also have to remember, we're doing this 1 week, then the next week we're going to have students back. So if we don't feel safe enough to do a convocation and bring our teachers back, how can we say kids come back and it's safe? So it's kind of hypocritical if we say we can't bring our teachers together, but oh yeah, bring our students in. So, but with that, if someone feels uncomfortable, we're going to allow them to go back and view it live stream from their campus. I mean, this isn't my will against your will. This is us coming together just like we've all been working and understanding, and I don't want the fear to be a fear of us and retribution. How can we overcome that fear? Because our students are going to come back just as frightened, and we need our adults to be safe and secure so that they can comfort our students. And because that's, you talk about customers, and we have a lot of different ones, but our number one customer in a school system is our students. And how can we make them feel safe, secure, and learn the best? And then our teachers, and how can we make them feel safe and learn the best?
Well, we're blessed to have you, Tommy, as our superintendent for BISD, one of the best schools in Texas, no doubt. You've been recently recognized as a top superintendent in the state. And I just hope everybody out there that's watching this today, whenever you watch this, recognize that we have people that care. There's a lot of thought going into these plans for reopening, and there's a lot of collaboration and corroboration that's going on among the city, the county, the school districts. I think that we're working like we never have before as one united team, because we are all in this together to make sure the right thing happens. That's all we have for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure that as things continue to evolve and change, we'll be bringing you more updates. Have a great day. Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.